Hey, how's it going, do-it-yourselfers? Have you ever had problems with your shifter assembly and you don't know where to start the diagnosing procedure? If that's the case, fear none, because today I'm going to show you how the system works and how you can diagnose problems with it. Now in this video we're going to be working on this 2012 Hyundai Elantra, but since the shifting setups are very similar, you should be able to use the information in this video to work on any car, year, make, and model. Alright, and the issue having with this car is this. Sometimes when changing gears, the shifter moves. As you can hopefully see, the indicator light stays in the previous position or goes up one delayed. Kind of funky. Alright, so we'll leave this shifter in this position and try to find out whether our transmission is in neutral or drive. And we do that by simply taking our foot off the brake. And we're driving. Alright, so here's how the whole setup works. So first you get your shifter assembly, obviously. Then from there, your shifter assembly is connected through your shifter cable to the shifting mechanism that's on your transmission. And on or around that, you have your transmission position sensor, aka transmission range sensor, aka neutral safety switch. Now, as one would expect, the job of this sensor is to sense which position this shifter is in. Is it in park, reverse, or drive? And then it sends that information to your TCM or PCM depending on your car. And that's why it's called the transmission position sensor. But more importantly, as a safety concern, it only allows your car to start if this shifter is in park or neutral. And that's why it's also called a neutral safety switch. Alright, so again, our shifter assembly moves our shifter cable back and forth, which in turn moves this shift fork and changes gears. And then the neutral safety switch sends the position of this shifter here to our ECM or TCM. On this car, I believe it's the job of the TCM to light up this indicator light and also the transmission indicator in our cluster. Alright, so more than likely one of these components is either broken or out of adjustment. So we either have a broken or out of adjustment shifter assembly, shifter cable, or a neutral safety switch. And I guess the good news is you're highly unlikely to have an internal transmission problem that's causing this. Now between these three, sometimes your shifter cable is adjustable, usually at the shifter assembly. But one thing that's always adjustable on most cars is going to be your neutral safety switch or transmission range sensor. And that's because these are the two components wear out over time. Plus, whenever you replace one of these, it might be different lengths, have different amount of slack. So it's important to have a setup where you can get rid of that slack. So what we're going to do is to go have a look-see at our neutral safety switch, which on this car is going to be on top of our transmission here, right underneath this air filter housing, I believe. But if you have a rear-wheel drive or an all-wheel drive car or truck, the neutral safety switch is going to be more than likely on the sides of your transmission, which you can probably access from underneath the car. First, we'll undo these two clamps. And next, we'll undo this clamp that's attaching the top air filter box to this inlet hose. Make sure this is loose. And now, we should be able to get this out of here and our air filter. So next we're going to remove this bottom piece that's held in place by these three bolts that you can see right here. By the way, as is customary in all my videos, if you see any tools or products that pique your interest, I put links to where you can buy them for cheap online down below in the description box, so don't be afraid to click on them and check them out. Alright, so here's a closer look. Here's our transmission position sensor or neutral safety switch. This is the connector for it. This piece right here is our shift fork. This is our adjusting assembly. And this guy here is our shifter cable that's coming from our shifter assembly inside the cabin. If this guy ever needs to be adjusted, it would be here. But I think we kind of found our problem already. So yeah, as you can see, this is completely loose here, and according to the repair manual, whenever you're installing a new shifter cable and you want to adjust this, you need to press this all the way to the top and then tighten this nut down. But again, as you can see, this is plenty loose and there's a lot of slack here, so whenever you're moving this fork forward, this ends up here, and then when moving back, there's a lot of slack here. It has to move all the way back to touch this end to move this back like this. Alright, that sounds easy enough. Let's try it. Let's push this all the way back. Then tighten the hell out of it. Now let's check, see whether we solved our issue or not. So we got the shifter in park, indicator lamp is in park, foot on the brake, reverse, neutral, drive, neutral, reverse, park. Awesome. Now let's make sure the transmission is actually in drive or reverse whenever the shifter is. So now we're in reverse. Yeah, we are. And now we're in drive. Oh yeah, we are. Alright, so there's that. But let me give you another tip. If you're ever in a position where you can't get your shifter out of park, well, obviously if you want to get your car going is to first start your car and then use a key to press down on your shift lock release tab and then get your shifter in reverse or drive. But the main culprit for you not being able to shift out of park is going to be your brake light switch. An easy check is to obviously press down on your brake pedal and make sure your brake lights come on. Now if they don't, what you want to do is to find the corresponding fuse and check and make sure it's not blown. If the fuse is not blown, you want to follow your brake pedal and just a little off the ground, you can see your brake light switch right there. Now your brake light switch, this guy right here, is an open switch, which means under normal circumstances when you're not pressing down on your brake pedal, it's in the open position. And we'll usually have two wires going to it again. One is going to carry constant voltage, and then whenever you press down on your brake pedal and you push this out, this piston moves out, closing the circuit here, and then from there it allows for 12 volts to pass through your brake light switch to your brake lamps. But not just your brake lamps, it is also going to allow voltage to be supplied to your shifter release switch or solenoid, which is going to allow you to move your shifter out of park. You guys bored yet? I know this guy is. He's just about ready to go out and go bite the neighbor's dog in the ass. Alright, that should about cover it. Hope you liked this video. If you did, do me a favor and share this video on your favorite social network. And also consider checking out these other related videos, of which I put links on this side of the screen. There will also be links down below in the description box as well. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.